What's up guys, the Dude's Corner here. Today I'm going to be taking apart and reassembling the 4x4. Before I begin this video, you will need to know how to take apart and reassemble a 3x3 and a 2x2, and at least have seen my 5x5 take apart and reassemble. And all the videos will be down in the description, so if you need to go check those out, that's where you can go find them. Now, the way we will be taking this apart is one of the ways very similar to the 5x5 that I talked about before. Now, like I said in my 2x2 take apart and reassemble, the mechanism of an even layer puzzle is that it is the odd layer puzzle bigger than it, with its mechanism broken down into the inside. So that means the 5x5 mechanism is in this 4x4, but it is just hidden in the inside. So there are actually edges inside of here. So in that case, we can use one of the ways we would take apart the 5x5 to take apart the 4x4. Now, the one way that we won't be able to use is to grab this piece out, because it's just too big. But the two we can use is to take this edge out. And of course, if your puzzle doesn't let you do this easily, just remember you can always loosen the puzzle up. And the other way, of course, is we can turn it 45 degrees and pop this edge side out, which is actually what I'm going to do. So I just lift under and it pops out. And of course, the cube easily can disassemble. So I'm just going to kind of break into it. Pieces are falling onto the floor again. One other thing to keep in mind is that sometimes your inside edges will be stuck together, so make sure that they are off all the way. Now, as you can tell, mine actually has these ridges in the inside. So because of that, that's the side we are going to start with for reassembling. So the first thing you're going to want to do is organize everything. This really does help for assembling a puzzle. Okay, now that everything's organized, I know you're not able to see everything, but this is the best as I can have it. We're going to go ahead and start with reassembling. Once again, if your puzzle has these ridges on the inside, that's where you're going to want to start. And then, of course, if your puzzle has this little gap, that's actually the one you're going to start with. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of do exactly what we did with the 5x5. So these are our center edges, except they're hidden, and you're just going to kind of line them up in here, and then of course you got to make sure that they are underneath the ridge. There you go. After you get this first piece in here, you're going to grab one of these and you're going to stick it in right here. Now the interesting thing though is that you're not going to stick another one of these in here, and the reason why is because this actually is one in there. So that's kind of why I started with this one, is because it kind of creates it to be a little easier to work with. Alright, now let's go ahead and start working on the next one. So we will stick this right under here, make sure it's under the ridge, just like that. And then you're going to grab one of these center edge middle pieces and stick it in just like that. And once again, you won't need one of these pieces in here because this has them already on it. So now let's go ahead and start working on the inside of this. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab a white corner centerpiece, and then you're going to grab one of your edge pieces with white on it. Stick it on just like that. Now here's the thing you have to remember is you need to make sure you're putting in the right colors. So don't put in the wrong ones, otherwise you will not be able to solve again. Now I just know that this is the way the color order goes because I know how to solve this. So now let's get our corner. Stick that in right there. And now let's get our next edge piece. Stick it on just right there. Then we're going to get our two center corner pieces, one in there and one in there. Now then you're going to have to build another arch pair here, and once this one's one of the ones where you're going to have two, because the one center was the only one that made you have to only use one. So after we get these in here, you have to get to the second one. So there we go. Now we got our first little block done. And I am actually this time going to show you me building the second one. An example again. So this time we're just going to make sure that this piece is underneath the ridge. Just like that. So after you get the first one in, you're going to stick another one of these in. And you're going to stick one of these edges in. Just like that. Now we're going to grab one of our white center pieces. Now we're going to grab a blue-white edge. Stick it in there. Grab a blue center piece. Grab a white and red edge. Then grab our corner. Then we'll take another red center piece. Get a blue red edge. Alright, now we're going to build this last little ridge here, and what you want to do is you're going to want to hold it so that you're blocking the back side, and then you're going to want to be holding this side here. This prevents it from exploding on you, and that's something you probably don't want to happen. So you're going to go ahead and stick this first piece in. Stick our center edge piece in, and then this is the part that can easily explode, so you got to be really careful and make sure you're inserting it in the right way. You're going to grab one of these, put it in just like that, and now you've completed your first two blocks. Now I'm not going to show you the next block pair because just for the sake of time, but you're going to want to build this section here next. Now that you've completed your third cube, you're just going to continue the process on this cube next. Now we've completed the first two layers of the puzzle. Now we will continue by building our next block right up here on yellow center. And this is going to work the exact same way. You're just going to build your two arcs here and then continue on from there. Now that we have completed this block here, we will now continue on with building this block. Alright, now that you've completed this block, there are only two blocks left to finish. So let's go ahead and start working on those. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to build the middle again. Now let's go ahead and get these last two center corners for our centers for red and orange. Get the two top edges. Just like so. And then get these down here. And then get the corners. Alright, and now we just have these last 6 pieces to put in. The first thing you're going to want to do is put these 2 corners in for green. And this obviously will get a little difficult, so you will have to kind of fidget around with this puzzle to get those in, and really whatever way works best for you is the way you're going to have to get those in. Next you're going to want to get one side done, so you're going to want to put one of these in and then put one of these edges in, kind of like that, and then you're going to stick this piece in here. Now this is tough. And you really do just have to kind of figure out your own way of putting it in. There really is no easy way. Now that we only have one edge piece left, the last thing to do to put this in is we're going to lift the corner out, and then we're just going to try and insert this in. Once again, this really is something that you will have to kind of just figure out how your cube lets you insert, because every cube is different. As you can see, mine is kind of messed up right now, but you should be able to easily figure out some way of getting your last edge piece in. You can always try turning it 45 degrees or lifting up this side, but it should be able to go in, and then your cube be back together. So thank you all so much for watching. If this video was helpful, please remember to hit that like button down below and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more future content that will be coming out very soon. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.